can't beat a goalie. They can't buy a goal. They can't do anything to get the puck in the net, even though it looks like they're doing all the right things. This team is a team that, if they make the playoffs, I've always been saying this throughout the whole year, but I'll say it again. Games in the playoffs. A first-round exit, I don't really care. Just games in the playoffs would be so valuable to this team because it would allow them to actually experience what's it like being in that environment. Guys like Petey, Hughes, Horvat was only in the playoffs once and they got eliminated. Horvat, Besser, all these guys going back into the postseason and doing things and learning how it is in the NHL. That to me is extraordinarily valuable. Who knows? Maybe the addition of Besser back into the lineup and the addition of Toffoli via trade is enough to force the Canucks to get into a status where they can indeed beat the Oilers in a best-of-7 series. But when you get to that point, what happens next? How far is this Vancouver Canucks team capable of making it in the postseason? And that's another question I would like you to answer because I know I can't really decide. The Vancouver Canucks, to me, are a team that, honestly, could have done some damage, but I'm not sure if we're ever going to see that in the next few months, pretty much, because I don't think the season is going to come back. But then, that opens the realm up to next year. Now, next year is going to be weird, because the Vancouver Canucks have the option on losing out on Chris Tanev, Troy Stecher, Josh Levo, Jacob Markstrom, Jake Virtanen, and the big one, Tyler Toffoli. There are some other guys in there too, but like, among roster players, it's mostly those guys that people have their eyes on when it comes to the free agency market. A lot of the Vancouver Canucks playoff success and potential playoff contention next year heavily relies on those guys that I listed. In particular, it's Tanev, it's Toffoli, well, not really Toffoli, it's Jacob Markstrom, and I guess you could say Jake Virtanen too? And the reason I don't call Toffoli in that bunch is because this team was already a playoff team without Toffoli. Let's just say that right here. Toffoli just made this team so much better. We have a legit deadly top 6 now, and it's a shame because we only got to use it for like 7 games or whatever. But Brock Besser came back, which made the Toffoli trade not really super important anymore because, like, the only reason they traded for Toffoli was to get a replacement for Besser, but because Besser came back so early, Toffoli is just an extra added asset who is very, very good. So, it's on the offseason, which I personally don't think is going to happen, but you never know. I wouldn't be surprised if the Vancouver Canucks were still contending for a playoff spot next year because they were already doing that this year without Toffoli. That's only assuming it's Besser, Miller, all those guys stay healthy. And sure, of course, you're gonna have to re-sign some of those guys, so probably a few of them are gonna come back, right? But in a world where Toffoli comes back, Markstrom comes back, and Tanev comes back, 3 guys, they come back. This team, honestly, given a full year of that lineup, and given a full year of developing the chemistry between Toffoli, Petey, and Miller, and Pearson, Brock, and Horvat, I think this team is going to be a legit top 3 Pacific team if they continue in that trend next year. Of course, they need to keep their guys that I just mentioned, but this team has gotten so much better that it's crazy to me. Just taking a look at where we were a year ago, before the trade deadline, with Branson on our team instead of Pearson, and losing games left and right, and Ben Hutton as a top 4 D-man. To see this progression to go from that to this in 1 year, it's nuts. And I just kind of pissed off that we're not going to be able to see any more of this lineup foreseeably if Toffoli doesn't re-sign, if Tanev doesn't re-sign, if whatever. It was ephemeral, but it was a sign that can happen. So I hope you enjoyed this video source 99, and
I had told people all year, I'd pushed this off, and I had said, well, you know, I'm sticking with the Washington Capitals over the Colorado Avalanche as my prediction for the Stanley Cup. That's So now that we're in this state of flux, and there's a lot of doom and gloom going around of that's it, everything's done, no more sports ever. Okay, all right. I'm not that much of a pessimist, honestly. So while we're in this state, we have to look at how they're going to run this. It's going to be tricky. It's going to be tricky because you have to make sure that the players are first off, you have to make sure the players are healthy. And then once you've ascertained that they're healthy, you have to keep them insulated. And that, again, like I said, really, really tricky thing to do. I think it's possible, but considering all the travel and everything, you might have to get creative. But let's just assume, just for this video's sake, that we say, all right, regular season's done. What we're going to do is we're going to say the top 10 in each conference have a chance at the Stanley Cup. Top 10 in each conference. But we're going to have a play-in. So this is something they've talked about before, where the number one wild card faces, you know, the team second below the playoff line. And I didn't mess with this. Now I could have gone with winning percentage, and then things might end up different. But you know what? I'm just going to go with the straight standings because I don't think it's going to affect necessarily who ends up winning it. So right now we would have Carolina, who are the number one wild card, against the New York Rangers. Columbus, number 2 wild card, versus the Islanders, who are below the playoff line as we traditionally know it. Winnipeg versus Minnesota. And Nashville would have home ice against Vancouver. Nashville has 28 regulation wins. Vancouver has 27. The Nashville Predators, by that standing, would beat out the Vancouver Canucks right now. That is your first tiebreaker, regulation wins. None of the rest of it matters. So, with that in mind, we're going to go through and I'm going to figure this out. These are the teams waiting. These are the teams that are all in, and these are the ones waiting for a wild card opponent. I can actually move these around a little bit. I always qualify this kind of playing friendly lineup when I play this stuff. It's a dated reference, you know. 30, and I would think anybody outside of Canada is going to be like, the who? It doesn't matter. And no, I'm not talking about Big Friendly Giant either. It's a kid's show in Canada in the 70s. Anyways, he'd move around little tiny furniture. So you sit down by the fire. Kind of reassuring. We could probably use that right now, right? Anyways, okay, so we have Carolina against the Rangers. So this would be a best of 3. Three. Best of 3, Carolina and the Rangers. And I don't see a way that the Rangers don't win this. I don't. So now the Rangers being a 10th rated team, okay, overall in the conference, means they would be the second wild card. That would lead to the New York Rangers getting into the playoffs against the Boston Bruins. So Carolina, I think, would lose a best of 3 against the Carolina Hurricanes. No offense to the Hurricanes, but the Rangers were playing fantastic hockey. Columbus versus the Islanders. Now this one's weird because Columbus was playing well going into this pause, but they're going to be healthier coming out the other side than they were going in. So that. Now the Islanders, on the other hand, for them it's just been, I don't know, there's something off with their game, and it feels more like the Islanders have some issues going on here that are related to more than just like an injury related thing. I know Pellick being out has hurt them, but it feels like there's more going on there. I think in a best of 3 situation, I think Columbus would win that. So Columbus would earn a chance to get into the playoffs and play against the Washington Capitals. Everybody following along so far? Yeah, that's right. Everybody to the end. Winnipeg against Minnesota, best of 3. This would be an amazing series because in my house, with my wife, that's her favorite team. Chance to watch them against each other again. They've played each other in recent years, and I think Winnipeg would win that. I think the number 1 wild card Winnipeg would win that, and that would earn them a chance to play against the Vegas Golden Knights. And of course, these teams know each other from previous playoffs. Nashville against Vancouver. So again, best of 3. The first 2 games. The first game would be in Nashville. How would you? Okay, so best of 3, I would think would be 1, 1, and 1. So 1 in Nashville, 1 in Vancouver, and then the other one back in Nashville. So I would think whatever they do with the playoffs, they might even go 2-3-2 from here because they're going to want to minimize travel as much as possible. But for the sake of this video, I'll say Nashville ends up with the home ice advantage of some sort. Maybe all 3 games will be in the home of the team that's the higher seed for this playoff. Maybe in order for a lower seed to make it, they have to win all 3. But I'll still think Nashville. I think Nashville would beat out Vancouver. Vancouver would have played games that were important the entire season and would have had a chance at playoffs, and this would have felt like playoffs. And I think for Vancouver fans, that would be important. Now, the question then becomes, if Vancouver lost here, would that mean that they keep their first-round draft pick, or does it still go to New Jersey, who got that draft pick from Tampa? So yeah, that's the question I have when it comes to Vancouver is, if we end up with a situation like this, does that count as missing the playoffs, or does that count as made the playoffs and then they keep their draft pick? Right? So, that being said, we are now into the official first round of the playoffs. This is your wild card round. This is your first round. We have Boston against the Rangers. I don't like this matchup for Boston. I don't. I know, Boston's been playing very, very well. They're number 2 on my power rankings. But boy howdy, would the Rangers give them a headache. Now, one thing that I think would potentially help the Bruins here is experience. And with the rest, that could help as well. That they've had that time off to heal up. This is a team that's been pretty deep. They've admitted since the pause began that Bergeron's dealing with a lot of nagging injuries. And that this pause is helping him to get healthier. It doesn't bode well for the Rangers. The fact the Rangers are in the playoffs would be huge for the Rangers. I don't see in a 7-game series them taking